Alright, so, unfortunately, uh, I was planning on doing a lab tonight, and I'm still planning on doing the lab, but what I need to do is I actually need to add more threads to the system. So, that's what we're going to do first. So let's go into here. So we're in our Proxmox system. We're under EvenG, under the PVE main frame, I guess it was considered. So all we need to do is when you look at processors, one socket, 4 cores, we need to change this to, I'll change it to, let's say 8 cores. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that'll be good enough for now. Believe that should be plenty. Alright, we're gonna start it. This may take it a few minutes to actually completely come back up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start out fresh. It's going to take it a few minutes for this to load back up. Alright, so I guess that what I can cover is my new recording setup here. I just recently got, well, today I just got a used Elgato Light Air. I got it connected to a Manfrotto Super Mount, and I got it on the lowest setting that I could possibly get it for. And I went from using the OBS bot because OBS bot couldn't actually deal with the darkness of the room, so it kept messing with the sharpness of the image. So I'm now back to using the Canon G7X Mark III, which, of course, it means that it's not going to be able to track me, but no, for the quality of the video, I think that it'll be fine. Alright, awesome. So now we're back in here. We're going to go and we're going to create 3 nodes for this particular lab. And so that means there'll be about 12. Oh, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so 12 gigs. I'm perfectly fine with that. I've got 20 gigs of memory assigned. So we're fine on that, and CPUs, that's fine, and that's perfectly fine, so we should be good on this. So we're going to save this, and it's going to load up 3. We're going to do that one, and that one. Alright, so let's see, how is the video looking? Still looking pretty good. I'm fine with that. So, what we need to do is we need to take, screw it. I'll start it first. I'm going to go and rename these first. That way I can go ahead and set up the first connections on them. This will take a few minutes to do, so we'll go and switch over to this camera here. Alright, change here. CX1. Alright, cool. So let's see. And this part's gonna take it a few minutes because it always takes it a few minutes for the actual virtual machine to load. Hey Google, turn on the cabinet lights. Perfectly good. Okay, yeah, I think that gives a decent amount of backlight there. That'll work. Cool. Let's see. In a minute, it should load. It always takes it a little bit of time for it to load the first time. And the good thing is that I did not get the memory error on Area B1 first today, so I think that memory chip is perfectly fine. Just needed to register it. Alright, so I'm going to do admin. It doesn't take a password the first time, and it should require you to change it. Yep, so what we're going to do is just something really basic. Alright, so we're in the switch. So this is the very basic setup for the switch, right? So this is the initial page. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go into config, because the first thing that we're going to do is change the host name, because there's nothing worse than realizing that you are on the wrong one, and it has to be all one word. So I might do switch_1. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to use switch1, right? So that'll be fun. Okay. That should have updated the switch name. Oh, that's right. Mem. So we're gonna write that change to memory first. Yeah. Alright, cool. So now we have done two things. We have changed the host name, and we have written the change to memory. So that's the first thing that I always do with my switches. And next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do interface brief. No, that should have been the. We'll find out. Management interface. There we go. Identifier range, tool configuration. Alright, so we're this far. Let's go and take a look at the lab real quick and find out what we need to do. Okay, the topology. Required ports. Okay, so what we're going to do is int 1-1-1. And then we're going to do oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, so the first thing that we want to do is actually turn on the ports, right? So we exit for each one, and I'm sure that there's a better way to do this. Yep, no, it's 112, my bad. I'm not the best at remembering everything, so we're going to do no shutdown on this one. Actually, it looks like that we can do something a little bit different. But, alright, so you can either do it for the individuals, or you can actually do it for the range. So what we'll do is the range next, and then 1, 6. And what did I mess up? Oh, it's because I didn't type INT first. Alright, so now this command is going to allow us to configure the actual range. Okay. Do you see that? It'd be a little bit difficult for somebody to see what I'm typing in, so. Alright, so this should be a little bit better, a little bit easier. And since I'm struggling, we're all going to struggle together. I like that idea. So do the no shutdown command, and this applies it to the entire group rather than just the individual ports. Alright, so we're done with switch 1 for the time being. So what we're going to do is that we're going to write this to memory. Alright. Then we're going to do exit. And exit. Alright, so now we're back at the base of the switch. So I'm going to close this off for the time being. I've write the changes to memory. So the next thing is that we're going to go back here. Let's see, we're going to go back to, yep, cool, alright, no, okay, I think I know what else to do, alright. That'll work. I'm just going to go move these over a little bit so that it's easier to see when I'm working on these. Alright, so let's see, we got that. Alright, so this one should be a little bit easier to see now. And what we'll do, actually, yeah. Yep, don't care. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to add an object, network. We want to do, add, yep. That's fine. This one goes from switch 1 to switch 2. Okay, so that's going to be fine. Huh. That's not what I want. I guess it is. Do this one. That's not what I want. It's been a while since I've had to actually do this particular one, so that means that I can actually take this one and go back up here, and then we want to do is turn this on. Anyways, I gotta turn it on anyways, and at that point I'll actually turn this one off. We'll stop this one. There we go. Yeah, I don't need that. Okay, so 1 second. We'll fix both of these. Yeah, we're just gonna delete this connection because what we need to do is that we need to configure these two connections, I guess, with them both turned off at the moment, because we should be getting a, there we go, that's what I want. Alright, so what we need to do is we're going to do 1-to-1, yep, it's going to be 1-to-1. Alright, so I'm going to change, no, okay, anyways, that's good enough. That's good enough for government work. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to drag this down to here. And what is this one? This one is 1, 2 to 1, 3. That one's going to be that one. And the other one's going to be 2, 2. Okay. Alright. 2, 2, and 2 to 2. Alright, so as of right now, that should be everything, and we are good. So what we'll do next is we'll just turn this one on independently. So we'll do this one next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to go and copy this or create a, I need to create a duplicate. I guess I'll just do paste as reference. That's fine. Either way. Okay, so what we'll do is window cap. because I haven't opened up anything else yet. That makes sense. Yeah, so let's see if I swap out. Either way. Alright. Should be up, and we will remote into it. And like I said, what we'll do is we'll come into here, go to obsbot. No. Why would I do that? I'm gonna go to here. Perfect. Alright, so I'm gonna log into admin. This one's a brand new session, so it's the same thing as the old one, so it's going to be nothing for the password. And then it's going to prompt you to put in a password. So we're going to do the same password as on the other one. Alright, and we're going to go to comp. Alright, host name is switch 2. Then we're going to write this to memory. That's the first change that we're going to write to memory. And now we're going to do int didn't take the host name. There we go. Now it took it. Alright, so we're going to write it again to memory. And yeah, I wrote it right the first time. I don't know what took it so long. But anyways, we're going to do int, and then 1, 1, 1, 1, and then I'm going to do 1-1-6. So we want to change it for all of them, and then we'll do the no shutdown, which means that the ports are active. Alright, so this is one more thing that we're going to write to memory. Alright, so we are done with switch number 2. And I'm perfectly fine with this because I've logged out of the system, so we're back to base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this, and then we'll go back to the other menu. Alright, so what we're going to do is shut this one down. It's not necessary to shut it down, but in case I need to make any changes, I'd rather do it while it's off. Okay, so we're going to start this. Alright, let's see. We should be able to get into it. And then we'll do alright. So now we're just waiting for this one to come up. It'll come up here in a second. Just gotta be patient. Alright. Admin, nothing. Alright. Okay. And it's just config. So now we're in the configuration menu, and then we're going to do hostname switch 3. Alright, and I'm going to write that to memory. We'll find out if it actually takes it or not. And it did not take it. So what we'll do is we'll switch it back to hostname switch 3. Huh. Should have taken it. Ah. For whatever reason, the Aruba virtual machine does not like the idea of changing its hostname. I've seen it do 3 different things now. Anyways, I'm going to go back into config. And we're going to do int 1-1-1, and then go to 1-1-6, and then we're going to do no shutdown. So now all these ports are active, and we're going to write this to memory. Now, what I'm going to do is, now that I've done that part, I'm going to turn on the other 2 machines. We're going to turn them on, and because the next part that we're going to do is that we're going to validate that they're all communicating to each other. Start. There we go. Alright. What are we going to do that? And so I want to see who our neighbors are. Link layer discovery protocol, that is what LLDP stands for, and what that does is that it is going to check to see if another switch or another device is on the other end of the port. So we should get a list. And we're not seeing anything yet, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So let's see what it says for these other ones. Okay, the other ones are still booting, so that's why they're still having issues. Alright, so once they're all done actually booting, I should be able to put in that command, and I should see a total of 2 other neighbors. Alright, let's see. Still nothing. Now I'm a little bit concerned. Let's see. I'm gonna open up this switch again. Not really seeing anything, still loading. Alright, so right now I'm waiting for the other switches to load back up. And it could be taking a little bit of time because I'm still using the DDR3 memory on my server. It does vary though with how many resources that you assign to these devices. Do a quick check. Let's look at what our server is doing. Yeah, we're at 80% of our 8 cores, or the 8 threads. We're only using 30% of our memory, but we're at 80% usage of the processors. So I might have to give them some more processors. It still shouldn't be that big of a deal, though. Anyways. Yeah, CX1 and CX2 are still in the process of booting. It shouldn't take too terribly long for them to come back up. Okay, it's starting to drop, so it should be almost done with booting up. That was a little bit weird. I guess I should have added 10 threads instead of just the 8. I can always do that later. Yeah, it is a little bit concerning though. Anyways, come on, load up. Okay, cool, finally. I'm not seeing anything on these other interfaces, but I am showing them. So at least, as you can see, within this lab, we do see the neighbors on here, and we're seeing their MAC addresses. So we see switch 1 and we see switch 2. So that's going to be all that I'm going to do for tonight. It's getting a little bit late. Tomorrow we will start the process of creating the VLANs, and hopefully we can get a little bit further on that than we did tonight. I'm also going to assign more resources to this virtual machine so that I can get it to run a little bit better. I know that this isn't a whole lot, but hopefully we can cover a lot more than what we have right now. Just bear with me and we'll try to get through it all. Alright, just send me an email if you guys got any questions. I appreciate it. Thank you.